game, Rockin Cats, pretty generic name, probably haven't heard of it, which is of course why it's worth $200. Unless you're in Japan and you're playing the Famicom game, and then it's called the New York Yankees. Yes, the Yankees. Certain MLB team, Major League Baseball team, wouldn't be too happy about that, so they renamed it.
Oh, wow.
Here we have Rockin Cats, because I guess they're rockin' because they, similar to our last protagonist, like jazz, dress like it's the 30s, and I guess one of the bosses is a band. But anyways, that's all you need to know about Rockin Cats. Oh, also the movement is very, very complicated, so I will leave that to Wag to explain while I try to flip off every lamppost in existence. So, countdown whenever you're ready.
Alright, are you ready?
Yep, just count me down.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, so this is our protagonist, Willie. He's a cat. He is trying to save his paramour, Jill.
Yeah, one of the first things you probably realize in this game is there's a lot of very strange movement mechanics, and a lot of them are based around this punch glove. In order to play this game quickly, you need to get really good at this punch glove mechanic. You pretty much just use it to grab things and somersault ahead, or you can just swing around in a circle for a while, and then just let go anytime you want, and you'll go flying in whatever direction. But the timing on that is like extremely tight.
What we just did there, if you're wondering why I went backwards, there are mini boss skips throughout the game. Basically, there's an invisible rectangle, and we have to get both the verticality and also the enough horizontal acceleration to get over that. Else, we lose anywhere between 10 and 45 seconds, depending on which mini boss. And we'll skip every single one except for Stage 2. And Stage 2 will have a different mechanic wherein we hit start and then A 3 times to leave the level, then come back in, and that makes it so part of it we do not have to do.
Yeah, most of the mini bosses in this game are they're all skippable, except for the Stage 2 one, and they all are kind of a pain to fight, except for like one or two of them. And it's easier to just not. Well, it's not easier to not fight them, but it's optimal to not fight them. It's way faster. And this is the approach to the first boss, which is a band, an entire band.
So you're required to hit both the lead singer, the drummer, and the guitarist. As I'm about to.
Yeah, if you see the debris falling from the top, that's because the drummer and the either guitarist or bassist are playing their notes. If you defeat both of them, the things stop falling from the top of the screen, and also the actual boss, the guy popping out of the holes in the bottom, pops up much faster. Also, his pattern is I'm a little bit delayed, so I just saw the KO. But yeah, the pattern of the boss on the bottom is predetermined, and you can memorize it, but there's a lot of things going around, and it's hard to kind of remember where you are in the sequence. And then, as you can probably see, it goes much faster once you've gotten rid of the other people in the band.
Yeah, the scaffolding stops falling down once you take out the drummer and the guitar. Hey, punk, I'll get you yet.
Yeah, there's some good lines in this game.
So now we're heading off to Sky Ace, aka Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
There's a few jumps in here that are like extremely difficult to make, and you can't do them without. Well, you can't do them quickly without doing strange things with the punch glove and just doing some alternate like jump styles. One of them should be coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, this part would be an auto-scroller, but we can bounce off both enemies and also the fin, the tail fin of the plane, and that gets us there a little bit faster. So you'll see that at various points. If you're wondering why I'm looking backwards, it's so that we can go forwards faster.
Yeah, if you watch the clouds, they move a little bit faster after it does the punch. Oh, the backwards punch. Alright, so this mini-boss is a dog, and he doesn't do very much, but it's pretty hard to dodge it, because you don't have a lot of place to stand. And he takes a lot of hits. Nice. So yeah, instead of finishing stage 2, it's faster. And you skip a little bit of a sort of mini cutscene in the stage if you exit out and then go back later, because you go back at the second half of the stage after the mini boss after the cutscene. So if you quit out and go to another stage and then come back to that one later, you can save a little bit of time. Additionally, there's an item buying system in this game. One of the channels is a shop channel, like a television, like buy things on TV thing. They were popular in the 90s, but the main thing with that is if you can go to another stage and get money and then use the money to buy an item, and that'll help us get through stage 2 a little bit faster.
Chiming in real quick to say thank you to Rick Morvanis for the $5 donation. Thank you so much, Rick. Type in chat for Rick Morvanis for that $5 donation.
This part we're just going to hold right. You can get slightly faster, like at this part, by hitting backwards. This part we're definitely going to, because it mitigates lag. We have, and there, I don't know what it is about Maximum and Chase and this game both getting in. They both have massive amounts of lag. This is why we want to keep as many enemies off the screen as we can, as well as their bombs. And it does go a little bit faster than going regular. Do slow down a little bit here, because we want to get that heart. Lets us be more aggro with the boss fight. Additionally, these pillars, you can't punch through them. You can propel yourself faster, hence why we punch backwards like that. But if you punch out at the right time and then come back down, you will still hit the enemy past it without hitting the pillar. So there's a timing mechanic to it. This is Big Eagle.
Yeah, this is the second boss we're seeing, but the fourth boss of the game.
Has 3 cycles. Ideally, we want to beat it on the 4th cycle, or 3rd, but that's very difficult. But yeah, on this cycle, we like to beat it. I believe it's 28 hits.
Yeah, that is one thing about
I apologize for taking this long. Content warning for flashing in this game, very much so. There is a lot of flashing in this, so.
And just a quick shout out to Yoshi Chief for that raid. Thank you, Yoshi Chief, and welcome in Raiders.
Yo, welcome.
Now we're doing the second half of stage 2 that we had abandoned.
Yeah, if you saw him going into the shop channel there for a moment, that was we picked up the rocket boots, and they let you hover a little bit. Ferret mentioned lag earlier also, and an interesting thing about the rocket boots is that they add a lot of lag to the game. So as long as you're wearing them, it makes the game lag. Oh, that was a really difficult trick to do. You have to jump onto the hook in the ceiling, flip around in the air, and then jump off on the other side, and it just moves you along faster. That was very tough to get.
Saves about 1.5 seconds and costs about 15 if you lose it. And I failed it 2 of the 3 times earlier today, so I'm kind of happy.
So this boss is called Machine. I think that's a pretty descriptive word. It's got these 4 hands that each have their own kind of attack. The hands also take damage, and you can hit the hands to stop to disable them. But if you get all 4 hands, they turn into these claws, and then I don't even remember what attack he does, but he does some kind of crazy attack that's really hard to dodge. So we just try
he just dive bombs you, and it does 1 heart each time. Also, much like anything else, every hand you destroy causes massive amounts of lag.
Of course.
The clouds of smoke, that causes lag. So ideally, you want to take the hit if you can. You take the hit underneath, and then you punch straight up. But we're talking a few frames. It's not a big difference either way.
Yeah. Hey, punk, I'll get you yet.
The carnival level.
Earlier when I mentioned the difficult jumps, I think this is the stage that has them. I'm blanking out on which stage has those difficult, like, you have to punch against the ground and then bounce off a thing to get over.
Yeah, there's been time when I first started running
go.
this game, like, I would get stuck for a minute at this part, literally just traversing. If you notice, the stages in this aren't very long. They're pretty short, and that's because the degree of difficulty in each individual stage is pretty high. You're not really intended to go this damage isn't so bad. They're pretty lenient on that. If you are actually doing the mini bosses and instead of skipping them.
Speaking of skipping mini bosses, there's a tough one right here.
I know I wasn't in the right spot. So this is one of the mini bosses if you miss it. I was too far over to the right.
We get to see another dog in this case, so that's kind of a win.
Sadly, it's the longest one because it becomes invulnerable for a period of time.
Then he splits into 4 dogs, though. That's a...
But
like
you get to see what I was talking about, which is, so I'm at 3.5 hearts right now. What's kind about it is you get a checkpoint if you do beat the mini boss. If you skip it, you don't. You don't get any of it. You get brought back to the beginning if you die. Or game over. But you also get a health refill.
Yeah, nice. Oh, these alligators are super trolly. They, you can jump on them and they'll open their mouth at about the same time you just fall in the water. I don't think they're supposed to open their mouth until you stand on them, but things happen. Ooh.
The climbs in this game can go very quickly or very not quickly, and there's not a lot of in between.
The first half of that went real well, though.
But this game, when things are going right, it just feels so fluid and nice. It's like this is a very high skill game to get fast at. Easy to learn, hard to master. It's kind of reflected in the leaderboards because the top 3 runners of this game all have a low 18 on any percent, not all of them. And then 4th place is 20, and then 5th place is 21, and so on. So, I'm showing some cool strats. There are even far cooler strats that are beyond my pay grade.
This is Clown Dog. The reason why we really need the hover shoes is this boss and a scene later in the last stage.
Yeah, this would take substantially longer without the hover boots because we wouldn't be able to hit Clown Dog until this part.
Good job.
Okay, and now channels 1 through 4 done. Channel 5 has now opened up, and that is the final channel. But it is also half the game. Do not let the idea that we're on the last channel mean we're almost done. And in the manual, it's named I Heart New York, but in the game, it is labeled I Love New York because that tourism slogan was trademarked. So much like New York Yankees, they didn't really want to quibble with it. You see, there are money bags in this game. There are routes you can do where you can get the boots sooner than we do. And originally, even the world record did that. There are bonus games in this, as I call it. There's bonus games that you can do to get money, and in fact, some of the fastest runs actually did play basketball, like legit basketball. To get enough money earlier to use the boots. I'm going to take an intentional death here.
Oh, and there is a... Oh, sorry.
There we go. I was just going to say, we're now at the point where the only time we need boots is, like I said, for Clown Dog. So we can just get the money naturally. You do get 200... It's either 100 or 200 for the boss, which is more than enough.
And like Mega Man games, this one decides to send you back and make you fight all the main bosses again.
Channel 5 is definitely where the rubber meets the road. We start doing a lot of pipe swings over and over. Many times over open water. There we go. That's probably the hardest skip in the game.
Not just the skip, but not landing. Yeah. Not just the skip, but also not falling in the water with... The only thing you can grab there are those, like, wheel-looking things. So, not falling in the water there by itself is an accomplishment.
It's a good climb.
Yeah, that was a great climb.
On the second Big Eagle fight, we're going to hit a spring. Ideally, we would like to get the last hit while we're on the right side. Try and do that, yeah. That should save a couple seconds.
Nice.
Hey, I'm just gonna chime in here real quick while you guys are doing the boss rush here. Just want to let everyone know that we have two new incentives coming up later tonight. We have $150 to have the runner use the Trans Samus palette, and then also save or kill the animals bid war. And that's coming up tonight.
A nice machine too.
Alright. Still faster to wait for this.
Alright, this is a pretty tough skip.
Yeah, we would have had to face the Sky Dog again. Didn't do that.
Nice. You not only need to freeze the stompy guy in the correct position in the air, but then you also have to do the jump afterwards. So it's like a two-parter.
You have a couple options for this. Ideally, to take out these boulders, you're supposed to have the hammer fist, but we don't buy that. That just, again, adds lag and wastes time. You do 3 punches. You can also grab a candle and do it. That does add some lag, though, like everything else in the game, so... The 3 punches is fine. If I had more health, you could also just walk right through it. It takes, deals 1.5.
Here's Clown Dog 2.
Yeah, the other intended method to do this, you're actually supposed to take out the face first. The face does have a separate hitbox, and when you take that, then Clown Dog will stay down. Oh. Guess I was missing my shots.
Nice.
Coming up on PB Kong here, this boss takes a svelte 50 hits. This is the final boss, Mugsy's henchman. The bananas do half a heart of damage. And then hitting either his claws or the top half of his hitbox does a full heart.
Yeah, as long as you don't let them jump on you, you can avoid most of the damage here, but not getting hit by him jumping on you or all the other stuff is pretty hard.
Ideal strategy is to be directly below his legs and punch up, so you know, that's always fun.
Yeah. Also, he takes 50 hits, like 5-0. That's a lot. Most of the bosses in this game feel like they take more damage than maybe they should.
Every time I do this part without the boots, I lose the PB, so they were doing it with the boots. And then here we are at the final boss. On Kaizo Edition. We'll shoot bombs and bullets at you. He will fly to the left side if you stop hitting him, so you don't stop hitting him. The bullets do a full heart, so if we can help it, and the bombs, if we can help it, it's actually better to just walk on the spikes and take the half hit. Alright, and any percent time is now.
Oh, good game.
But we will, we did meet the incentive for Kaizo. That requires us to wait and watch the credits. It takes about 3 minutes. If you have any donations, that would be a good time for that.
Alrighty, well then I will go ahead and read these off. We do have 2 new donations here. We have Grendire Pathfinder donating $128. Thank you so much for the $128 donation. Saying, donating for a good cause and supporting a friend. Hi, Sarth, winky face. Can we get some OS frogs in chat, please? Also, coming up right after that, we have Xylos donating $20, saying, greetings from Japan. I finally got out of bed for this. Good luck with the runs. And Lost Kingdom's character name, looks like we got a thing with that one for the bid war. The suggestion, I guess, was for Fortnite, or the vote was for Fortnite.
Lost Kingdoms is the best From Software game, so please donate to that. I don't know what a Dark Souls is, never heard of it.
What about Kingsfield?
Right, Murakumo. I'm just rattling off games no one's heard of. You know, just Renegade Mech Pursuit games that were released only on the Xbox. That got 3 out of 10 on IGN. But
I've never played a From
You had
Software
something to say
game,
about how, even though this takes place in New York, Willie and Jill are currently in New Jersey. Is that correct, Wag?
Yeah, they're actually on the other side of the Hudson River.
Okay, right. So they're not New York Neon Keys. They're New Jersey.
They're the New Jersey Neon Giants. I don't know how to work neon into the Giants.
Yes, thank you very much for Fastest Furs, raising money for a good cause. Both my nephew, my partner's nephew, are on the spectrum. Really a great cause, and thank you to Xylos and everyone else that has donated. It does really mean a lot. This game, I played this as part of the Big 20. If anyone doesn't know what that is, the semi-annual speedrunning race wherein you play part or all of 20 NES games. I had absolutely never heard of this game. This was actually the last one. It actually beat out Mega Man 5 as the last game because of how technical and nice it is. And I recommend anyone to try the Big 20 to get a chance. There's a lot of entrants, you know. You don't just have to get first. Any and all skills are welcome, and eventually you might take up the game afterwards, like I did with this.
Yeah, it's a fun game.
The level will start now. All of your items and money are gone. We cannot hover boot through this. Relative to modern day Kaizo, right? This, you might think, okay, that was a bit too easy. But you need to remember this came out in '91, and it was an intended part of this mentioned in the instruction manual. And you do literally have to go over, as you can see.
Yeah, that climb is not easy.
Pits and chasms with literally the floor is spikes. So you get three lives, no continues. All right, so we're gonna take the death here. We took too much damage. It's faster.
Yeah, this is a very hard climb to do, so there's very few, almost nowhere to grab, and you have a very big movement pattern that you need to follow to get through it quickly.
Alright, this is the hardest part. By far.
Oh.
Nice. Okay. I think we'll be good.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Alright. Hey, didn't we send you to the moon? Let's try it again.
Oh yeah, and time is when he hits the moon.
That is time.
Yo, good game.
2805 all levels, that's not too bad. It's a minute and a half off my PB. That's around 4th place, 5th place, so.
Yeah, that moon
too
does...
shabby considering some of the early deaths we took.
Yeah. Oh, somebody in chat did say Mew Jersey, and that was great. Mew Jersey works very well for that.
And much like everything else Atlas has done, they just recycle the same things and then charge you a full $50 for it again. But there we go. Same scene you saw before.
Well, technically,
Yes,
you didn't
that
have
is
to buy
Rockin
the game
has,
again.
the
But...
Nintendo Entertainment System. you all enjoy.